All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing. Thanks for checking out another video. Today I want to talk to you about winter crankbait fishing. Okay, it's been a topic of discussion for a long time. Years ago, people didn't even do it. They didn't think that bass were aggressive enough to hit a crankbait in the wintertime. Okay. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Okay, so we're proving that over and over and over again. So it's one of my favorite things to do in cold water for a number of reasons. Okay, so I'm out here in the boat barn and I'm rigging for an upcoming warming trend. I talked about it a few videos ago. Gonna head down to Cape Cod and do some wintertime crankbait fishing. Why? You know, because I can. I mean, I want to make more content for you guys. And this is something that I think that you can, you know, take to the lake and check out for yourself. Fish definitely do eat crankbaits in the wintertime. There's a few things that you need to do to make yourself more successful while doing it. So, like I said, I'm out here in the boat barn rigging for that. And I'm going to take you through, we're going to hop in the boat here in a second. And I'm going to show you the baits that I'm going to throw that I hope to get bid on, and the equipment that I'm throwing it on. You know, rod action, line size, reel, that kind of thing, and the techniques that I'm going to use to hopefully catch some fish here in the next week or so. So, all right, so let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the boat, and we'll talk about wintertime crankbait fishing. All right, here we go. All right, so we've hopped up in the boat here, and I just finished rigging up the rods and baits that I'm going to throw here in the next week or so. So let's check out what I got. Here's the lineup. So, got to have a medium, shallow to medium diving crankbait, thin profile. Okay, this bait's going to dive down to probably 8 or 9 feet, something like that. Shad colored. You can see it. See right there. 7 foot medium rod, 12-pound fluoro. And while I'm talking about that, is the line that I like to throw crankbaits on. Right there. 12-pound test Seaguar. Red label. Wide red label. That's all you need. InvisX or BrazeX. This X, that X. I mean, I love Seaguar fluorocarbon. Love it. Probably the best fluorocarbon line on the market. The red label will save you some money. It still has all the characteristics, low stretch, it is abrasion resistant, low vis, of course, and it's all you need. It'll save you some money, okay? There are situations where I use a BrazeX, I use a VizX, okay, for my leader material, BrazeX for flipping, stuff like that, around heavy cover, but for crankbait fishing, that red label is really all you need. Now, 12-pound test, wide 12, not 10, not 8. 12-pound gives me a little bit more insurance. It is going to limit how deep the bait will run by a little bit, over 10. So it won't dive as deep. But today's line, years ago, you had to throw 8 or 10. You had to. But the technology now, just the line, it's just the way to go. I can get away with 12-pound test and still have less diameter than years ago's 10-pound test. So that's why I choose to throw 12, okay? And it gets the job done, okay? So again, medium heavy crankbait action rod, 6 2-to-1, 7-to-1 retrieve, especially this time of year. If you fall into your natural rhythm, you want a slower retrieve, okay? So I wouldn't go any slower than 6 2-to-1. 7's right there in the middle. You definitely don't want to throw crankbaits in the winter on 8, 9, or 10 to 1 retrieve reels. Okay, you're going to overpower it. It's good to have a little bit of a reaction to the bait. You want the fish to react to it, but you're not burning it when the water's in the upper 30s or low 40s. Okay, so shallow to medium diver, standard crankbait, thin profile. Thin profile. It's not a big wide action wobble. It's tighter. A lot of action in a small area. Okay. So another crankbait I love throwing in the wintertime. Propala shad wrap. Okay. Very thin profile. Balsa. Again, a lot of action in a small space, okay? They don't weigh anything, so that's why I have this rigged up on a spinning reel. This is, 8-pound test fluoro to probably, my mainline braid is probably 12, something like that, 12, 14, green. And I can throw it really far on this spinning rod. And, again, it's just a 7-foot spinning rod, medium action, 2500 series reel, and I make a long cast, dives pretty good, gets down there pretty good, and there's a lot of different size shad wraps. I'm going to stick with a smaller profile, and I want to get it down there. I don't necessarily have to hit the bottom, but close to the bottom. I mean, a couple feet off the bottom. If you can even be up inside the water column, okay? Because we've learned, a lot of fish will feed up. But essentially, I cast it out, reel it down to however deep it's going to go, and it's not a steady retrieve, okay? As some of these other baits I'm going to show you are. This is more, you sweep it, you get it down to where you want it to go, pause it, and then you just kind of sweep the rod, maybe a foot or two, pause it, reel up the slack. Sweep it, watch your line, reel up the slack, sweep it. That's pretty much the action. And you'll know how long to pause it and how long to sweep it. I keep the sweep real short. I don't want to go by the fish. If you're pulling a bait, 3-4 feet by a fish, he may or may not turn to eat it. Okay, but a foot and a half, it's staying right there, okay? He sees it, it moves, he sees it, it moves, he sees it, it moves. So you're giving him a lot more opportunity to eat the bait, okay? It's still got a lot of action, small area. And I talked about flat-sided baits. Again, shallow diver, this goes about 5 feet, you can see. Real narrow, real tight wiggle. And again, it's a bait that I keep saying it, but that's true. You don't want this big wide wobble and crankbait. You want tight, stop, tight, stop, tight, stop. Okay? And that's what that flat side is going to give you. Again, 7-foot, medium action, 12-pound fluoro, Seaguard red label, 6 2-to-1, 7-to-1 retrieve. Reel, you'd be good to go. Let's see what else we got. A little bit bigger, of course, red. Again, a little bit bigger profile, but still flat-sided. Red bait works real well in the clear water, especially when it's cloudy. It's got the, a short bill on it, and it's going to have minimal action. Again, tight, short space. That's what you want. A little bit bigger rod, just a little bit bigger bait, so a little bit bigger rod. Here's a 7'2", medium heavy. Just to be able to throw the bait a long way, but still the same thing, 12-pound test fluoro. Let's see what else we got. Oh, can't forget, certainly last but not least in the crankbait department, original, old school oil wood. very translucent on the bottom, brown orange craw on the top. 12-pound test. This is on a Lew's cranking reel. Cranking rod, 6XD. My opinion, Lew's making the best crankbait rods on the market at this time. So yeah, 12-pound test fluoro, Seaguar 12. Again, the reel, 6.2 to 1, 7 to 1. You can't beat this bait. This catches a lot of fish. It does have a slightly wider wobble to it than those other baits that I showed you, but it really, really excels in water that's 50 degrees or less. Okay, and I've just caught so many fish on the Storm Wigawatt that it's a staple really when I'm fishing cold, clear water. It puts them in the boat. Okay. All right, so that's what I hope to catch the fish on. That's my lineup for crankbaits that I'm going to fish in the next few weeks down on the Cape. And I've had success, doing this before. I just love wintertime cranking. It's a great way to catch them. And you do end up, there's a little bit of physicality to it, where you're definitely, casting quite a bit, and in the wintertime, that helps keep the blood flowing and keeps the body temperature up. All right, so, okay, hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Feel free. I answer every single comment. It might take me a little bit, but I'll definitely get to you. All right, thanks again, and we'll see you out there soon.